If you have ever been told that you need to strengthen your lower back but weren't sure how to go about doing that, you've come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 very simple yoga poses you can do to safely and effectively strengthen your back. And the really great thing is, you don't need much at all. If you have a yoga mat, please get that out. And if you have a block, you might want to use that, but you don't have to have it. In this video, I will be showing you how to use the block in case you want to do it, but again, not required. If you need recommendations for either mats or blocks, please look in the description below the video, and I have several suggestions at different price points. So I'm going to be taking you through these 3 different poses, starting from the easiest, progressing to the hardest. The first one is called Baby Cobra. Now, if you've ever taken a yoga class or maybe looked through a book or a magazine about yoga, you might have seen a full cobra pose. We are not going to be doing full cobra. I'm just going to be showing you what is called baby cobra, which is a modified version. I love this version because it is very, very safe, and the back muscles will get a lot of strengthening out of it. Okay, so for baby cobra, it's real simple. We're just laying on our bellies on our mat. Hands are going to be on the floor directly underneath the shoulders like this. The next thing I'm going to do is roll my shoulders up and then back down. And in the process, my upper body starts to lift up. We want that to happen. The very last thing is that the hands are going to just float above the ground. So right now I'm feeling the bottom of my rib cage is making contact with the mat. Now if we bring our attention to the feet, there's a tendency to want to lift up the feet or bend at the knees, but think of letting your toenails or your toes rest on the floor. So we don't have to do anything with the legs, just keep them long, feeling that contact with the ground or our mat. And that's it. So we're just going to hold this for maybe 10 or 15 seconds. You'll feel a sensation about here or so. And after you hold for a little bit, come on down and relax. So the next pose is called Locust pose. The setup looks very similar to baby cobra, but it takes the depth of the back bend 1 or 2 steps further. So in this pose, what we're going to do is, instead of having hands underneath the shoulders, we're going to have the hands extended by our sides. We're going to start here and progress. My palms are facing my body, so make sure they're not down for this one, but facing the body. Again, just like with baby cobra, you're going to roll the shoulders up and then back. What I'm doing is I'm thinking of reaching my hands towards my feet. So I feel a contraction in my shoulder blades, contraction in my middle and lower back, and also at the top of the hip, kind of by your waistband. And then the last part that I'm going to do is on this one, I'm going to lift up my legs. Now, if you can, try to bring the legs in towards each other. That will activate the glutes a little bit better, which is a good thing. And again, you're just holding and breathing. And you'll notice your triceps working, the upper back working, and of course, the lower back, glutes, and legs. Everything in the back of the body is activated here. And the more that you bring your hands towards your midline, the deeper the muscles the harder the muscles have to work. So after you hold for 10 or 15 seconds, come on out. And the last pose I'm going to show you is bridge pose. This one is so good for the lower back, the glutes, and the hamstrings. So let's get to it. Okay, laying down on your back with your knees bent, feet just below the knees. So make sure that your feet aren't out here. You'll want to pull them in towards your body right about there. I'm going to take my block and place it between the knees. This is just going to help me keep alignment, because sometimes when we lift up into this pose, the knees want to go out. So this is going to not only help me to keep alignment, but it's going to help activate the vastus medialis, that's the innermost quadricep muscle, and also some of the inner thigh. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is set up the upper body, now that I have my legs where I want them. And what I'm going to do is simply just lift the hips up, putting a little light pressure on that block, feeling my glutes kick in, feeling the back working. And you'll notice the rib cage will get a nice stretch as well. So I'm feeling contact with the back of my head and my shoulders. And then a little bit in the back of the shoulder and in the triceps, making contact with the mat. And I'm just holding and breathing. Now you can hold this for a while, 10 seconds, maybe 20. See how it goes for you. Now if you are up in this pose and you need more, here's a variation you can take. What I'm going to do is kind of roll my left shoulder underneath me and then my right shoulder, and then clasp my hands together. This is going to allow me to lift up more, give me a bigger stretch here and a greater contraction in the back of the body. So I'm working a lot harder here. Now, if your shoulders don't like this, don't force them and go back to the first version. Ooh, so after you hold this for a while, and if you've taken the shoulder variation, go ahead and untuck those shoulders, release the clasp, and I'm going to kind of slowly roll my spine down to the mat. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to put this off to the side. And after you do a lot of back strengthening work, it's good to do a counter stretch. So what I'm going to do is bring my knees to my chest, hug my knees in, and kind of rock side to side. Because we did all this work where we were contracting the back muscles, and now we want to take them in the other way. We want the back to round while being supported on the floor. Just give that a little bit of a stretch, and then relax. So there you have it, 3 very simple yoga poses to help you strengthen your back. You may notice a little bit of muscle soreness in your lower back the day after you do this. If you can, try to work this into your workout routine once or twice a week, along with your regular strength training or whatever kind of workouts you're doing. As always, if you have any questions about these exercises or if something isn't feeling right when you try it, please let me know. I would love to help out. And as always, I am so appreciative of you watching my videos, and thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you next time.